Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. How many of you remember the first Meaningful Mornings theme song? What about the second one? Do you all remember how on Fridays sometimes we would play a recording of how awesome it is that it's Friday? Okay, good. So you're passing the test so far. What's special about Wednesdays? Wednesdays are date night for myself. So last night on my date, I had popcorn and Reese's Minis while I watched Dune 2. How many of you have seen Dune 2? Two hands. I'm organizationally and personally disappointed. Dune 2 is very much a movie about faith and how faith is a facility that turns belief into knowing. Lots of people have lots of belief, but if they don't follow through, they never know what they believe in. Faith is that facility that encourages one to follow through. Meaningful Mornings, I hope, for all of you, is this facility. In reference to your evolution, in reference to our community's contribution to society. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2 is the syllabus. It is 72 verses long. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 18 is the summary. It is 78 verses long. This is the longest chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 2, Prince Arjuna evolves from being a searcher to being a seeker. He overtly states, Te, as in to Shri Krishna, Aham, as in Prince Arjuna, Shishya. I don't have a casual relationship with you anymore. I have a serious relationship with you. And Prince Arjuna has followed through. In this chapter, he evolves from being a seeker to being a savior. He is saved. Because he's saved, he starts to save others like us. This chapter has the focus of the yoga that leads to sannyasa, that leads to moksha. In English, yoga here is clarity. Clarity that sannyasa, renouncing the ego, this is the means. Moksha, this is the ends. When I renounce the ego, I am the spirit. In verse 1, Shri Krishna is sharing, Prince Arjuna is asking about the difference between tyaga and sannyasa. He is asking the difference between the means and the ends. The means is letting go of one's experiences and equipment. The ends is letting go of one's ego. Training is needed to get to this authenticity and depth. Sannyasa is not a ritual. It doesn't have to be show. Yesterday I stated renouncing one's ego cannot be proven and need not be proven. Our guide, our map, our divinity knows if I have to prove to you that I'm renouncing my ego, that's just another exercise in egoism. Do you all agree? Renunciation of one's ego is leading oneself through values to virtues. It is not leading in reference to followers. I've seen a lot of confusion there in reference to leading oneself and leading others. Recently, someone had asked me about why I keep doing what I'm doing, and I've shared with them, I'm reflecting, I'm not teaching. I get to reflect on these verses twice as much as you do. Yes, I do it for myself, and then I do it for myself again with you. So I'm trying to actively lead myself, not to lead others. So for you to check, why are you living? Are you living for others, in which case you have to prove yourself? Or are you living for one's self, which is, I don't know the word, unprovable, improvable, the opposite of that which can be proved? Prince Arjuna asks the question, Shri Krishna begins answering. Verse 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Palatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha. Joy. Shri, the one who has all virtues in all ways. Bhagavan, such a being we refer to as God. Uvacha is telling, is teaching. This is all present tense. If you're reflecting in the present tense, the teaching is coming in the present tense too. Kamyanam, selfishness. Karmanam, actions. Nyasam, down throw. This is the first quarter that's translated. Put together, throw down. Selfish actions. Thinking about this more, when we were flowing through chapter 3, I had explained to all of you about pancha karma. 3 actions and 2 responsibilities. How many of you clearly remember this? Good. I'd shifted us from the left to the right. I'm just going to state 2 of them for now. More will be shared as we flow through this chapter. Nishiddha karma. That is immoral action. These are to be nyasa, thrown down, renounced. Nishiddha karma harms others. Clear? Less intense in terms of negativity, and that's what's stated here, is kamya karma. Selfish actions too are to be renounced. This doesn't harm others, but it harms oneself. Selfish actions, we think it helps us, but it actually harms us. Now I'm going to add more rigor to this explanation. Every one of us is interdependent. And so if I'm harming myself, I'm actually harming you too. If one thinks about a public health system or a public security system, like social security, if I'm a liability in terms of my health to the medical system in Canada, who pays for that? Everyone does. But if I'm a healthy person, I'm an asset, not a liability to you. So even though we share, Kamya Karma only harms oneself, for those who are trying to follow through to the highest, it also harms others. Next quarter, sannyasam, renunciation, kavayaha, those who are poets, those who can see, viduhu, they know this, they teach this. Those who have felt divinity, they teach us that this is sannyasa. Letting go, dropping, renouncing selfish actions, which really means selfishness. Selfishness is like egoism. Is this clear to everyone? So how many of you have legally changed your name? Have you become a renunciate? How many of you changed your clothes from yesterday to today? Have you become a renunciate? Do you see my point? You can't show this. This is something that is the most authentic and deep sadhana or discipline. And because it's not external, it is universal. We can practice this. Offering more insights. Selfish action, Ujjwami Chinmayananda would describe this as desire prompted. Yes. The more selfish I am, the more desirous I am. But reflect. Why do you have desire? We have desire on account of discontentment. The more discontent I am, the more desirous I am. And so Shri Krishna is sharing here, don't be discontent. How can I not be discontent? By knowing my content is joy. Third quarter, the first line is the ends. Now the second line is the means. How does one train for this? Sarva, that is all, unconditionally. Karma, whatever actions, whatever responsibilities you're engaged in. Phala, that will bring fruits or results or gains. Tyaga, don't depend on this. You will get it. Interdepend on this. Don't depend on this. If you take this literally, today is Thursday. Tomorrow, suppose you get a paycheck. It directly goes into your bank account. You deny that. Shri Krishna told me not to accept this. Let the corporations have more money. That's so impractical. How are you going to donate to our causes then? Don't depend on that. That means don't feel that this is going to make you content. Specifically, it is the vrittis, desires cause vrittis or thoughts. What kind of thoughts? Thoughts of anxiety, that I need this, I want this, in terms of fruits and results. This is what is to be let go. We have to let go of this. We have to drop this. We have to renounce this. Very practically, When we have an anxiety to enjoy, it actually inhibits that enjoyment, correct? If I have an anxiety, I can't wait for Friday to come. When it comes, since I now have this habit of anxiety, I can't even enjoy Friday. That dancing person beside the car, that will never be us. Prahuhu, this is known as Tyaga. The means to the ends, Vichakshanaha, those who know, they're the ones who are teaching us. How humble is Sri Krishna that he's the Kavi, he's the Vichakshana, but he's saying others have taught this. Final reflection. In our Narada Bhakti Sutra course, the exact same teaching has come up, and I shared with all personally. Once you start to have a seva bhava in all directions, when you feel every engagement is service, you start to feel so much gain inside that you become unconcerned or udasina about outer gain. And if you follow through with the means, you will follow through with the ends too. Sheila was telling me after our recent retreat that there's some people who want to engage in light seva. And I told her, I can't work with such people. I can only work with people who are engaged in life seva. Light seva is not seva. Life seva is seva. Yes? How much do you think I could sell my email address for? Any buyers? From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to read what distracts you the most. How many of you read this? Good. Do you know what the source of distraction is? Duality. Dvaita. Do you distract yourself? If you say your mind is distracting you, that shows that you're different than your mind. And so what is the solution to distraction? Advaita. Not mindfulness, not paying attention. It is oneness, which is what this chapter is about. Your application for this morning, I want you to listen to the song. It is called Shedding Skin. In brackets, it's sometimes known as Beloved Friend. The artist is MC Yogi. Shanti, 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 be joy.